Okay, so on this part on page 10, it's at the bottom. Okay, it says for each pair of numbers, determine their product, then use a factor table to determine their least common multiple and their greatest common factor. So, what we're doing is we're taking everything that we've learned so far in the last few days and we're going to put it all together so we can figure out the least common multiple, the greatest common factor, the product, which is multiplying two numbers together. And we've got to do it all by finding the prime factorization. All right, so what we got to do is we got to find the prime factorization of 12. So I'm going to come down here to this little space right here, and I'm going to go 2 and 6. You could have used 3 and 4. And 2 and 3. All right, so those are going to be my factors of 12. So let's look at 10. And 10 is 2 and 5. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in my chart. Okay, and I always like to start with the bigger number, the one that has the most numbers to fill in my chart. So for 12, I have 2 and 2 and 3. Okay, and what did they have in common? They only have 1, 2 in common, so that's going to go right here. And the other factor of 10 is 5, so it's going to have its own little space over here. Okay, so what do they not have in common? They don't have this 2 in common, this 3, or this 5. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to look at how do I pull out my greatest common factor? How do I pull out my least common multiple? We've already figured out the prime factorization. We've already put that information into our table. Now let's look at it. Remember, the greatest common factor is going to be the ones that they have in common. Okay, in this case, they only have 2. So my greatest common factor is 2. All right, so how do you find the least common multiple? You take the factors that they have in common. They have 1, 2 in common. And then you multiply all the rest of them, all the common factors and on the non-common factors. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take 2, and we have a 2 here, and we're going to multiply it, and we have a 2 here. Oh, sorry, that's a 3. Hello. And we have a 5 here. Okay. So when I multiply that together, okay, I'm going to look at this and I'm going to say, okay, let's see if I can clear that little spot right there. Okay. 2 times 2 is 4. Okay. 4 times 3 is 12. Sorry, it's so kind of junky. And 12 times 5 is 60. So my least common multiple is going to be 60. Okay, so I have found so far my greatest common factor and my least common multiple. All right, and then the product means that we're just going to take the two numbers, 10 and 12, and multiply those together. And we're going to get 120. All right, and that's how you're going to solve it. Okay, so I'll let you, I'll help you guys set up I'm going to clear the screen. It's junky. All right, I'm going to show you guys how to set it up. You don't have to draw that big chart like that. You can draw it really simply. You can do 9 and 15, and then just draw your line there. And then as you need more, if you're going to need more numbers, you can add them. If you don't, that's okay too. Remember, the first step is going to be to find the prime factorization. Oh, these are easy. Okay, so we have the prime factorization of 9 is 3 times 3. 3 is a prime number, so we're going to circle it. And the prime factorization of 15 is 3 times 5, and we're going to circle that. All right, so what do they have in common? They both have the same amount of numbers, so it doesn't really matter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look and see that 9 has more than 1 3. So I know that that's going to be next to the other 3, so I'm going to put that in first just because it's a repeater. All right, and it's smaller than 5. All right, so we have 3 repeats here, and we have 5. All right, so that's going to be how I'm going to set it up. Now, what I want you to do, and I want you to do C and D on your own, and I'm going to have you work on that, okay? And I want you to find the product. I want you to find the GCF, and I want you to find the least common multiple. All right, and I am going to have you guys stop the video here, and I want you guys to spend the rest of class time finishing these 2 tables and answering the quick write on page 11. All right, well, I will see you guys later. Bye.